And we're up. Whoops, all webcams are disabled.
Hey, what's the name of our crew, by the way?
It's a good question.
Daddy.
The crew name?
Zaddies.
Well, since I'm the pilot,
Maybe can we be called the Zaddies?
no, I put her crew name as Daddy.
Okay, but
No.
Zaddy's better.
Nope. Daddy. The daddies are gonna save you.
Huh.
The daddies are stealing your loot. The daddies are killing your people.
Anyway, we are online. My
okay.
video is gone.
Uh-oh.
Well, that was quick.
So we're just audio, no video. Unfortunate.
What are we doing here, y'all? I realize I
What did I
haven't
do?
played in a minute, but huh. I guess I need to tell it to disable video on.
So, like, Harrison, if you're the pilot and we're called the Daddies, then shouldn't you change your name to Daddy? So every time something you do something,
No, let's not call
Thank you,
ourselves the
Daddy.
daddies.
what?
So let's not call ourselves that.
I think
Well,
it's a great name.
Guardians of
Uh,
the Daddies. Daddies of the Galaxy.
Well,
The
it's
daddies
either.
are raiding your people.
Huh.
Daddies just ran a train.
No.
So
Hey,
I'm out.
guys, we are online.
Are you sure? I was trying to run it and it did seem to be loading, but
Nope, we are definitely online.
Okay, and we were just talking about Daddy.
Anyway, so resetting brain. All right, hey, welcome everybody. Tonight we are playing Scum and Villainy, which is a forged in the dark game, which means it's based on blades in the dark, which means that it is a heist game. And it is a heist game set in a futuristic semi-dystopia. We're talking Firefly, Cowboy Bebop, the darker side of Deep Space Nine. So, our crew of scoundrels are aboard the Alexander. They are a crew of bounty hunters. And we pick up in the middle of a heist. You all have been tasked with retrieving a server droid, whoops, give me my notes. A C4AN server droid, which heard or saw something it shouldn't have, and has been targeted by a certain organization for retrieval. You all have taken the job to retrieve this droid, and in fact, you have retrieved the droid from a ship called the Cannonball. Unfortunately, in the process, the Cannonball's core has been damaged, and the ship is rapidly heading towards a meltdown. You have a screaming, wailing droid. The ship's crew are chasing after you, and the ship's systems are crackling and blaring alarmingly. So, what do you all want to do?
Oh, shit.
it's hopeless. Abandoned ship.
Yeah, is there any way to, like, if we're on the ship Is there any way to look out or find what's causing the alarm to go off?
Said something was crackling.
You definitely know there is a computerized voice going, engine core meltdown is imminent. Engine core meltdown is imminent. And it's like flashing on every screen that you go past. The Alexander is somewhere nearby. I'll let you all decide where you would have left it and who might still be on it. And then, so who of you would go onto the ship to go and retrieve this droid?
Well, I would go.
Maybe me, because I am the mechanic. And robots are my thing.
Mhm.
All right.
No, I'm on the ship.
All right. And Harry, what did you name your pilot?
Derek.
All right. And so, Derek, you're still at the helm of the ship?
Yeah.
All right. So you are able to sort of act from outside, theoretically, using the ship. So alarms are blaring. There's a lot of like narrow hallways. Would you have like docked the ship, or are you like somewhere nearby?
We are somewhere nearby.
All right. So, people on the ship, what are you doing?
We are running and we're slamming every door behind us to slow them down.
All right. That sounds like that's going to be a hack check. So we're going to call this. This is risky and standard.
I got a 3. I failed.
Ouch.
Off to a bad.
In your effort to pull enough power to shut the doors, you actually cause further damage to the ship's core. This clock, which is entitled "The Cannonball Explodes," has ticked up a notch.
Oh.
What are the rest of you doing?
Well, we're gonna run in circles and panic now.
There's a variety of ship's crew trying to get in your way. There's electronic systems. The droid is like frantically wailing and like trying to grab onto things. What are you guys doing?
I'm confused. Are we on the ship or not?
You're on the Cannonball, which is a different ship.
Yeah.
You have invaded the Cannonball to retrieve this droid, and you are trying to get back to your ship
Gotcha.
before this ship explodes.
Gotcha. Are they trying to get in our way, like, to stop us?
There are some folks who are actively trying to stop you, and there are some folks who are just getting in your way in the process of running out. You're equally likely to be trampled as you are to be like shot at.
I just want to. I don't want to fight them. I just want to.
We're actually going
my
to
way
retrace
in and
our
out and get off of the ship as quickly as possible.
We're actually going to retrace our steps from where we docked and entered the ship in hopes that our lovely pilot and the Alexander will swing back around to pick us up.
All right, so let's do these in order. I wish I could mark your all's character names. in a way that I can see them. Nice. So if you all choose the chatting as, maybe that's something I have wrong.
Does that help if I do that? I'm no longer hated. I'm Leo.
Yes, that helps.
Okay.
So it sounds like our scoundrel is trying to scramble. You're trying to get away from danger. So let's give a risky standard scramble check.
So do I just click scramble and it rolls everything correctly for me?
Yes. You can let me know if you want to push yourself or if someone else wants to help you. Or we can work out a devil's bargain. If you... Basically a devil's bargain, you agree that something bad happens regardless, but you still get an extra die.
I'll help you.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I don't know if anyone will help me, but could I be helping someone else? If I'm on the ship with the person who got the droid, maybe we're helping each other?
So you've got a couple of options. You can also try to set up something for another character. So you could try and like clear the way for whoever's carrying them.
Who has the droid?
That's a good question.
I don't think it's me because I'm trying to close doors.
Okay, then we'll say I have it.
All right.
So yeah, if he's closing doors and stuff, yeah, I guess I'll try to get some people out of the way, but without really, I don't want to stop and do a drawn out fight or anything.
No, this
I'm
is just
trying
like
to
a
move
quick
quickly.
something as you go. So what do you want to try?
Maybe as I'm weaving in and out, I try to push them over, maybe have them trip over the droid that's following me or something.
So that would probably be a scrap check. I would say that would be standard. Sorry, that'd be risky limited because you're trying to affect a lot of people, but it'll still help.
Okay. So just click scrap.
Yep, and then risky and then limited, or whichever order those go in.
Okay. And bonus die 0,
Nothing.
even though I have a little thing checked there.
Do you have a skill that helps you with scrap?
Yeah, well, I put a little triangle there, so I've got 1 out of 3.
It's automatic. That's what it's rolling for you.
Okay, so bonus die is still 0.
Right. Oof.
It only rolled 1.
Do you only have 1 dot?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 dot would be 1 die. If you had 0, it would roll 2 and take the worst.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, you have no points in it. It's really bad.
So you're going to mark experience, I think, or is that only on? You mark experience sometimes for something. Devil's bargain. Roll the dice. Judge the result. Oh, sorry. It only goes on desperate. So with a 3, this does not work. And in fact, this is going to slow you down a little bit. In the process of trying to kind of clear some space, you are not able to move as fast as you were. So what is our mystic doing?
Was running along with them, I guess, trying to help out any way I could.
So you can try and set. You could set up the scoundrel for a better roll next turn, or you could use one of your abilities to potentially help clear the way, to help you
I
figure
say
out
I
where
have,
you're going.
yes, I have kinetics. I don't know if
Yeah, you could just like push stuff out of your way.
yeah, I could be doing that. I guess just to do I let's see.
Or pushing things into other people's ways.
Yeah, say I was what
That
I
goes
thought was pushing things to slow them down.
So that's going to be an attune roll.
Attune. What position risky?
Yeah, it's going to be a risky standard. All right. So mixed success. What are you throwing?
I
There is a
whatever
fun note in
table.
here. There's more detail in the rules. Dangerous force means fast enough to severely injure a normal person. Superhuman speed means fast enough that you're barely more than a blur. Your reach is about the size of a large room. And yes, people can count as objects.
I'll just say, I was just gonna, throw some whatever a table-sized object would be that's within reach
All
to
right.
block the way and slow them down.
And actually, I'm going to say that this is great effect because you're using sort of supernatural power here. Make sure that you mark 2 stress for that.
So there we go.
All right. What is the pilot doing? Pilot.
I was talking, but my mic was muted.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
So
All
I'm
right.
on the ship, right?
Yep.
And it's falling apart.
Their ship is falling apart.
Their
Your
ship is
ship
falling
is
apart.
a little ways away.
Our ship is fine.
Alright. So could I maneuver our ship a little bit closer now
Yeah.
to pick them up?
Yeah. So you want to go ahead and kind of get in sort of a convenient position to pick them up?
Yes.
All right. This sounds like a helm roll. And I'll say that this is... You're not really in danger here. We're going to call this controlled. We're going to call this great effect. Because if you can get closer to them from outside, that's less distance they have to move.
A great effect. Am I just blind?
So have you clicked on helm?
Click on helm.
Yeah. And
So
then
I
it prompts
clicked.
you the other stuff. No bonus dice, no other stuff.
So click on that. No.
So I think you click on the word helm, and it does it. It'll pop up like a little
Sure.
prompt.
And, hold up. I think I broke the page.
Womp womp. Can't blame it on my dynamic lighting tonight.
I'm gonna blame it on that anyways. Like people have once told me in the past, it's important to establish blame. Wait, you said it wasn't risky. Never mind.
Yeah, it's controlled and great effect.
Right. Let me. So you said controlled, submit, standard, great, submit, bonus dice 0, submit.
Oof.
We're not getting closer, boys.
Well, the good news is that because it's controlled, nothing worse happens. All right. Leo, there was something you were wanting to do.
However, I forgot.
Something about figuring out the way to go.
Oh, we're going to backtrack from where we entered the ship to where we exited the ship in hopes of getting off the ship sooner. So we're on the backtracking part.
All right. So my thought is that is probably study. Because this would be based on how well... We might even call this... this might be a good chance for a gentle flashback, if you want. Of you, before you all got on here, looking over the layout of the other ship and memorizing the corridors.
On the way in, as we made our way through, for each hallway and each intersection, I left a scratch mark on the right side. So that way on the left, that way when we run out, everything's going to be on the left side, pointing arrows onto which way's out.
Nice. I don't think that would have taken you any special effort. What kind of role do you think that should be?
Oh, would that be a skulk roll? Because you're kind of stealthing. You're leaving like small scratch marks where you would know where to look, but no one else. And so that way, when you're running, you could just look. You know where to look, and you'll see them every time. I'll see them every time, and lead us out.
Yeah, I think that sounds fair.
So skulk. What's my position?
So we'll just call this standard, risky standard.
Risky standard. We are not rolling worth a shit tonight.
It's okay though. It's still going to move you forward one. So I think that this comes back to bite you because someone on the crew figured out that someone had left marks and is waiting for you around the corner. There are two of the ship's security officers with like stun batons in your way now. What do you all want to do?
I'd throw one of them into the other one.
All right. Are you going to try and do it with your ability, or are you going to try and scrap them?
With my kinetics ability.
All right. So in that case, roll a tune, and we'll call it standard risky, and make sure you mark your stress.
Is it 2 stress again?
Yep. Yikes. Ha.
Having trouble here.
You're not succeeding.
Didn't go great. Yeah. I think that in this case it just isn't effective. You try to throw one of them into the other. I think that just the blaring klaxons and the general stress, you have trouble tapping into your mystical connection and the moment passes. So, what is our scoundrel doing?
See that doesn't really work. What's kind of around us, generally speaking, just in general?
So there's still sort of like a bustling crowd of people sort of heading for like escape pods and shuttles and things. This is like a medium-sized personnel carrier. It was just transporting people from one system to the other, and you all kind of jumped it as it was moving through subspace. So there's a lot of people moving around. There's some open doors.
I mean, are we in like a hallway, or are we in like a cargo bay, or
you're in like a hallway. You're getting pretty close to a bay where the Alexander can park.
but if I'm in a hallway, there's not really a way for me to sneak around and try to come at them from a side or anything. I guess I'm going to. Well, hold on. The droid. Is it sentient? Is it like, can it make decisions on its own and stuff like that?
It's sort of like a high level AI. Think like a really high end. Combine like a virtual assistant and a Roomba and a Furby. That's about its level of intelligence. Like, it can physically do stuff, and it recognizes commands, and it has kind of a fake personality to it, but it is not a sentient being.
All right. I'm going to hide behind it and then sort of rush it forward towards them, and I'm going to go with it. So hopefully if they shoot at me, they hit it instead of me, and then I want to try and knock them on the head to knock them out.
Yeah, give me a skulk roll. We're going to call this... I think we're going to call this desperate standard. Because if this goes wrong, it's very wrong.
That's fine. And we're doing it skulk instead of scrap?
Yes.
And it was it was desperate and what?
Desperate standard.
Standard. Submit. No bonus die.
Hey!
I got a 4. That's kind of good.
So, this mostly works. You can see in the distance, sort of past these guards, there is an open hangar with sort of a permeable field. You see the Alexander is sort of like right at the edge of the field, and it's just enough where like the entry port opens just within the oxygen envelope. And so you manage to sort of set up this distraction. You shove the droid. It sort of wraps itself unintentionally around one of these guards, and they're just totally distracted by this screaming creature. You come up from behind. What do you do to knock the first one out?
I don't know. I assumed I had like a little blaster gun or something on me, and I just hit him on the head.
So you mark one of your load. You pull out your blaster pistol. You've got it set to stun, and blue energy crackles into the back of their helmet, and they fall over. The other one, though, was at a different angle and could see you coming. They're going to wing you with this stun baton. So you're going to mark 1 harm, and we're going to call that. We're just going to call it shocked.
Mark off.
So there's a place for harm on your character sheet.
Yeah, see the word harm, but there's nothing really to mark on it.
There should be boxes under it.
Like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. So in the
And
1 harm box, we'll specify. We'll say numb arm.
Oh, okay. So I typed numb arm into box 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that, the way is clear, and you all are able to rush out. You see a flood of escape pods firing off, shuttles taking off, and you all get into the Alexander. Pilot, what do you do?
We're gonna take off.
He's piloting.
All right. You gun it, and you all blast out of there. As you get away, you see a section of the ship separates and is sort of fired off, and you see them ejecting their core. It gets about a mile away from the ship before it explodes. And there's sort of to you all, it's like a gentle ripple that pushes you a little. You see some of the escape pods really get flung around, but the ship does not explode, and you all successfully escape with your droid. So, you have survived this mission. You're going to get this was sort of a simple smash and grab. This is going to be 3 credits. You all are able to hand over the droid to your client, who is. It's kind of a weird vibe. It's a man and a woman. They seem sort of well-to-do. They're acting very, very sketchy. They've brought some kind of computer specialist with them. They immediately pull out some kind of memory apparatus, access cloud storage, and delete everything this droid has ever seen. You don't get a chance to see what it was, but they are like beet red and blushing the whole time and acting very sort of like stilted and awkward. You don't know what the droid saw, but it was spicy.
Sure, I don't want to know.
So you mark 3 cred.
Ship or on our character sheets?
So you'll mark that on the ship. And then you all can kind of divide that up however you want. So we're going to have to do a little bit of vice rolling, because our mystic used quite a bit. So you all are in downtime. We're not going to let this go on too long.
Where's the cred on the ship?
Actually, I
found
already
it.
marked it.
I still want to know
I
where it is.
I marked it too.
So you all are you're back on the Alexander,
I see it.
and you're sort of between jobs, and then a message comes in, and it's a. Well, does one of you have an idea for a contact? Who would be someone one of your characters would know who would like give you a job?
Well, my background is I'm in a cult, and I have a guy on my space phone. I call him Slim Shady, but he kind of gets some good deals.
All right.
Call him Slim Shady.
So Slim Shady sends you a message. The irony is that Slim Shady is a fairly large gentleman. But he has left you a message. There is a bounty that's about to be posted on a weapons broker. And the broker's name is
Bob Vance Refrigeration.
we'll go with Vance. I like Vance. Vance Roberts. Vance Roberts is sort of like a mid-tier weapons dealer, but he has suddenly come into possession of a new sort of black market weapons design that he should not have. You don't know how he got a hold of it, but there's about to be a lot of money out there for folks who can bring back Vance and the designs. But if you have to choose, bring back the designs. And what he tells you is you basically have your pick of clients because a lot of people are going to want this. And whoever you give it to is going to basically not only pay you well, but it's a good chance to sort of boost your status with some of these other organizations. What Mr. Shady also tells you is that Vance is going to be on Rhapsody Station. It's a huge space station in the Coltrane system, which is in the Borderspace, not too far from where you're at now. It's basically a space city. It's run by a former weapons broker himself named Rhett Scarlett. And it really, there's entertainment, there's gambling, there's a lot of trade that happens there, both ostensibly legal and less so. But every year there is a huge charity, basically a charity cards tournament that happens in this station. And it's notable because it brings together people who don't normally get in a room together. There's going to be like Alliance military officials. There's going to be sketchy underworld figures. There's going to be merchants and celebrities. It's going to be pretty wild. And Mr. Vance seems to have gotten himself a ticket. If you all snag him, it'll be a fairly substantial payday. So this is your heist. We're going to have a little bit of downtime. And you can use downtime to do a couple things. You didn't generate unnecessary heat in your last mission.
I'm the only one with stress.
Yep, so you get to indulge vice.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, there we go.
so which vice did you have?
Weird.
So weird. So weird is weird. Whatever reduces your stress is something unusual. So something happens because you overindulged.
Oop. So it gets rid of all the stress, but then something else happens.
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and decide what's the weird thing that calms your character down. It could be just like normal weird. It could be like mystical weird.
I was trying to think. Well, he has a thing about like squishy stuff. I was trying to think like kind of like bathing in it or whatever you want to call it. Anything with like the consistency of like an octopus or something, like that's kind of.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Now have to figure out how this is gonna work.
Sorry, I've been watching The Boys, and so there's some weird moments in that the third season.
So I don't think that it's your vice itself that gets to you. I think that it's just as simple as you go to some like weird spa.
Mm.
And we'll just go ahead and say you all take your downtime at Rhapsody Station. Because you've got like a week or two until the event happens. So there's all kinds of spas, even weird ones. That's not that bad. What gets you is that someone notices you. Someone who was on the cannonball just so happens to be in the same spa. And you're a very noticeable figure.
Yes.
So you're going to raise the crew's heat level by 2.
Oh.
Oh, you're trying to kill us.
Weird vices.
So that cleared all your vice.
Just tell them no hard feelings.
So we're not going to worry about any of the other downtime activities. Even healing is pretty easy.
Where do we see? Where's the heat level indicated?
It's on a different map. I'm not going to worry about it.
I thought it was on the Cerberus at first, but I don't see
it
it yet.
attaches to the like map of the sector, but we don't actually have one
Well,
for
because it
our
would
world.
be sector based and not.
I'll just add it to a random sector.
There you go.
All right. So you indulge your vice. Our scoundrel gets some simple healing.
Our heat goes up.
Yep. So you all know that this event is going to be happening at Rhapsody Station here in a couple weeks. You know that this person is going to be at the event, which means they're going to be in and around the station in specific places. You don't have to do a ton of planning here. What you can do is gather information. And what you're trying to do is figure out your approach. And the list of approaches is... Here we go. Planning and engagement. The approaches are assault, deception, infiltration, mystic, social, or transport. So this is the primary way that you're going to sort of kick off this mission. So all you have to figure out is one detail. So if you're going to assault, you have to figure out the point of attack, which means like the place you're going to try and go after them. If you're going to do deception, you have to choose the method of deception. If you're going to do infiltration, you have to choose the point of infiltration. If you're going to go with mystic, you have to figure out what weird way you're using power to do that. And social, you have to figure out a social connection. Transport is not as much relevant here. So which of those sounds like what y'all want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And you can gather information to get more info. Or if there's just stuff that's like common knowledge, you can just ask.
Clearly, we're not going to do an assault. I say let's infiltrate.
So you're going to try and sneak somewhere?
Well, here's a question. How hard is it to get in?
So it depends on where. So just as sort of scoundrels, you know, there's the public-facing side of this event, and there's the underbelly of it. So what the public is going to see is all of these people basically playing cards in like a celebrity poker tournament. Everyone's going to smile a lot, get a little tipsy, play cards, and all the proceeds go to some obscure charity. What you all know is that while people are distracted by this, and during the times when the event isn't running, people will be gathering in back rooms, people will be gathering in sub-levels, and a lot of deals will be made, illegal transactions will occur. So there's definitely some possibilities. You might have to gather information to figure out exactly what Vance is planning to do.
So clearly we have to stalk Vance for a second, figure out who he's talking to, what's going on, then kidnap him. So clearly our scoundrel needs to convince Vance that he is the guy that Vance wants to talk to sell these plans. Get him in a back room by himself, and then we just kind of jump him because we're waiting for him.
So that's probably going to be a deception entry.
Well, it sounds like a fun one. Who's in, who's out?
Let's do it.
Unless you want to try something else. That's what have come to my mind.
Makes most sense to me.
So, what is your method of deception? Who are you pretending to be? What's your story?
I think he said he was pretending to be like the buyer of whatever the plans are.
You're a rich crime boss who wants to buy these plans.
All right. So here's the list of details that go into this. You're about to make what's called an engagement roll. And basically this one roll is going to figure out where you start and what's going on. So, is this operation particularly bold or daring? I don't know if there's anything specifically bold or daring. Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors? I don't think so. Does it expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Not really. Is the target strong against this approach or have particular defenses or preparations? I don't think so, because they're looking for this. Can any of your contacts or friends provide aid or insight?
That's some shady.
So I think if you're going for something specific from him, you're probably going to have to make a consort roll. You're going to have to sort of buddy up and get the good info out of him. So it'll be
Slim Shady.
It'll be controlled standard consort roll for Lemmy. Nope, not Lemmy. Leo.
I would say, yeah.
Control standard.
Oof. Do you actually like Shady?
I mean, we're good buds. We were kind of friends in the cult, and so I the one who gave him the name Slim Shady because he's a big boy, and it's an oxymoron.
So I think there's some tension here. Maybe it's because he feels like you've kind of grown away from your community. Maybe it's because he doesn't like the nickname and he's been stuck with it. Something about this does not work. So you're going to have to take a different approach. How else could you all get information or help? So you have access to the whole, not the whole station, but like
right.
If not, we can go ahead and go for it because you get one. You get one roll regardless. So anything above that is just a bonus.
Okay. Is there anyone else here we might know we can talk to, we can buddy up with?
Yeah, it's pretty flexible. I mean, you could, try and make a connection with the staff. You could, figure out if anyone else you know is coming. If there would be someone who would have a good reason to be there.
Oh, I know. We also from the Colts, we'll have Jim call. We got Jimmy. Good old Jimmy. Jim is the one who pretty much bankrolled the Colt because he sold a lot of drugs. He's a kingpin. He'll be there.
All right. So
I
how
wasn't
do you
impressed
get
with
him
Jimmy.
to
I
help
kind of-
you?
Well, I got it. We buddy up with some of the staff to give us a nice secret vault room where or ahead of time for Jimmy, so he has a secure room to sell his drugs from. And if not, maybe some muscle to also make sure no one gets the idea that they could come take his drugs, because Jamie is pretty much the Walter White of this universe.
Nice.
All right. So in that case, then we'll call this a sort of downtime, or a. Well, we shouldn't do it this way, but yeah. So you're getting this person's help. So one of you come up with some kind of role to influence the staff to get this for you. You could try to intimidate and command them. You could try to consort. You could try to sway. You could even potentially hack the system and reserve a room that you're not supposed to, but no one will know.
Clearly, we're just going to have to sway and use friendship. We're really just going to use the thought of a bigger page of a bonus. And then try and stick the bill to Jimmy later. Is the best I got.
All right, so what kind of check do you want to do?
Well, would it be a sway? I'm going to sway them to help me by, letting me have access to the terminal and letting me reserve a nice room so that Jimmy can do his business. So that Jimmy would then help us with information that we could use to help to stop Vince from, or help us get Vince privately so we can take his plans.
All right, so go ahead and do a sway roll. We'll just call that's going to be risky standard. All right.
Finally.
No.
So I think what we're going to do then is that is going to get you one die for your sort of starting roll. It is going to go ahead and there's going to be a little bit of suspicion. The Some of the staff are persuaded, but someone is going to look at that and be like, what's happening here? All right, so that gives you 2 die to roll. Who wants to roll for the engagement roll?
Not it.
Oh, I got it.
All right. I don't know if you have do you have a button for this somewhere?
Engagement?
Yeah, it's an engagement roll. Shields, clocks. We'll call it a fortune roll. So go to the ship and click roll fortune, and tell it to roll a 2 dice.
Ooh.
It is pouring rain.
In outer space?
There are definitely like biome spheres on this giant space station. Think lots of like big glass spheres held together by like metal sort of tubes almost.
I'm just blind and don't see roll fortune.
It's
on
underneath the
ship.
contacts.
It's
Yeah.
bottom
You have to go to the
right.
ship. Yeah.
Go to the ship and it's bottom right.
At first I thought it said Arlox and Ashen Knives Panda. So that'd be kind of cool.
And you said 2.
Yep. That's almost unreadable. Hey, you got a 6. That's really good. This goes really well. Your buddy Jimmy gives you some legitimacy. He's very pleased, and it helps if you want to be known as sort of if you want to pretend to be a criminal figure. It helps to hang out with a known criminal figure. Which of you is going to pretend to be? Was it our scoundrel is pretending to be the contact?
Yes.
So I'll let our pilot decide. Do you want to be on your ship or on the Rhapsody station while this happens? If you're on the ship, you're not necessarily helpless. You can do things with computers. You can be sort of the man in the chair. But it's up to you.
I'm gonna be on Rhapsody. I gotta be with the crew.
All right. All right, then we start off with our scoundrel. So we've made our roll. So you all were very careful. You spent some time in preparation. You set up the deal with Jimmy. You were able to get him sort of a private bay to peddle his wares out of, which makes him look good. He makes some money. And kind of it helps you all to sort of blend in a little bit better. So you're able to make some connections, and you hear that basically Vance has like a private lounge off of one of the clubs where he's going to be meeting with potential buyers. And you've managed to get yourself kind of on the list as a potential buyer. So you actually have an appointment with Vance coming up. So I'll let you all drop in wherever you want. Actually, we'll pick up right there. So you all are in this lounge. Scoundrel, how have you sort of altered your behavior to take on this persona?
Am I? What exactly am I impersonate? Like a rich person, or do we know what kind of person I need to be pretending to be?
Definitely someone with some money, and someone who would buy a semi-illegal weapon schematic. Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello?
I couldn't hear you for a minute. Okay.
Uh,
Rich
yeah.
person who wants illegal
Yeah.
schematics. Go.
Yeah, I was saying I don't know who would want that necessarily. Um, so I guess I would just put on like some nicer clothing. Um, but that's all I got. I don't know who would want to buy this.
You could work for one of like the criminal organizations. You could be a secret envoy from the Alliance willing to buy this back. You could be a wealthy collector. You could be a weapons maker.
Wait, hold up. What clothes are you wearing currently?
Just thinking something not super nice. Just
Like, how ragged do they look?
I was
Because
thinking,
we're going to some high ballers right now, alright?
yeah.
If we want to clean out banks, we gotta make you look snazzy. Otherwise, they're gonna say you're a fake a mile away. You gotta
I
blend
thought
in.
I thought you meant like what was I currently wearing before I put the disguise on. Um,
Well, yeah, what's your...
when I put the disguise on, I'm wearing uh well, I don't know what the styles are in space, but they're nice stuff, top hat and monocle type stuff.
Space top hat and space monocle.
Yeah. Pocket watch hanging out my pocket. That kind of.
Yes. Very posh.
Guess it would be. I think posing as someone from the Alliance would probably make sense. Sounds like the Alliance is sort of a bigger organization, so maybe everyone doesn't know everyone in it. So I might be able to just make up some names of who sent me or who I'm buying for.
Alright, alright. Should we give like some prep dialogue to try to like divert or so you can try to send people away if they start asking too many questions?
So you don't have to prep too much. This is just to kind of get an idea of what you're trying.
Gotcha.
All right. So you're wearing your space top hat and space monocle. Which, in this case, it's probably like a nice but informal suit.
Yeah, with a vest, 3-piece suit.
Yeah. But maybe like, like no tie, pop collar, a little bit of chest hair.
Sorry, but I can't grow it. I don't. There's like one thin wisp.
Singular chest hair. But yeah, folks have seen you hanging around with Jimmy. They don't know exactly who you are, but like the whispers are in your favor. So the layout of this club, there is a long bar with a couple of servers behind it. There's sort of a lower area with tables. There's sort of a raised balcony that goes around. I say raised, it's like floor level balcony, lowered floor. And then there are private rooms off to the back. The one with Vance is easy to recognize because there are 2 guards outside of it. So the 4 of you are there. Are you sort of sitting together like a posse, or are you trying to sort of act like you're not together?
No, they're with me. They're my help.
All right. Are you ready to go keep your appointment?
I
We
am.
have to.
We better pitter patter. We can't leave them waiting.
We can't be late. Tardies cannot be accepted.
All right. In that case, so you have these 2 guards standing in your way. What do you want to do?
Ask them to move.
Introduce myself and say I'm here for my meeting. Please escort me there.
All right. Yeah, this doesn't take a roll. They just check a list and go, yeah, all right. What's the fake name you've given them?
Johannes.
They look and say, all right, Mr. Johannes, Mr. Roberts is inside. You have 10 minutes to make your offer. And then we will have to ask you to leave.
Curiosity. Is my arm still numb?
No, you would have sort of rested that. Oh, also a question. I forgot this. Load. How much equipment are you all carrying? You can sort of decide this individually.
I have my sidearm.
So you don't have to say what it is. You choose light
mean,
load, which looks
I
like normal
have-
clothes. Normal load, which looks like you're looking for trouble. Or heavy, which is like war zone.
I'd
Light
probably have
clothes.
light.
So normal clothes or whatever. But I imagine my bodyguards might be a little more armored.
Yeah. I'll say each of you can kind of decide that individually. Just it'll determine how people respond to you. So who has did anyone go with a heavy load?
I don't know. Should I?
I'm not.
I kind of want to see what happens. Then again,
Yeah, you're my posse. You're here to bodyguard me. It's fine. I'm in light. I've got a light load though. But
I should probably
I-
go normal because we don't want to like feel like we're outforcing the security guards. Then they kind of notice and are a lot more on edge.
Yeah, what if we just go light and then
I'm going.
there
normal.
a scoundrel comes in with like, or we go normal. Scoundrel comes in light, like wearing like cargo shorts and a Hawaiian shirt.
I'm definitely wearing my suit to to give off the impression of being a buyer. But yeah, earlier when I was on the ship, I marked a load of having a sidearm. Do I not have to have that anymore?
Right. As soon as you sort of reset jobs, your load resets.
Gotcha.
And I thought you said we didn't have to like pick a load until like
Right.
the moment of.
He just pulled a gun last heist and wasn't sure if he still had it.
Yeah.
You have to pick what kind of load you're having, light,
Right.
normal, or heavy.
Yeah.
But the things that you choose, like a light load allows you 3 things. A normal load allows you 5, and a heavy load allows you 6. but you don't have to pick what those things are until you need it. So it's like saying you have, if you choose normal, it's like saying you have 5 slots to put something in, but you don't have to put something there until you decide you need it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And I chose light so that I could present as a wealthy businessman or alliance person needing to buy stuff for the alliance.
All right. Anyone who has a normal load or up, the guards are going to try and stop you here.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, they're with me.
All right.
They're fine. Don't worry about them.
Sir, I'm afraid your guards will have to wait out here.
I go nowhere without my guards. Allow them to pass.
That sounds like a command roll.
That sounds like a threat.
I think it's a sway roll.
A sway
Sir,
command.
we're both guards here, and we both have the same duty: protect the person that's paying us, right? So we're here to protect.
So sort this out. Who's making the check? Is anyone going to assist? One person can assist. And which check is it?
I think it's a
I
sway
will-
roll, and I can
I
make
will
it.
assist.
And I think we're helping each other out. Yeah?
Yes, I will assist.
So whoever's assisting spends 1 point of stress, and the other person adds a die.
Okay. I'll
You
roll
better roll
sway.
6.
What?
So you better roll 6.
Okay. So I'll roll sway. Is it risky or what is it?
This is just going to be risky standard.
Risky standard with 1 extra die.
Yep.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. So with a 5, I think they're going to tick up 1 more notch of suspicious, but they're going to let this slide.
I mean, I guess we could have, sweetened the deal and said one of us will stay outside.
I'm also going to change how this is written.
Make the deal. Deal or no deal.
And this clock could change depending on what you all do.
Yeah.
So you all are allowed into this area. There are 2 more guards inside, sort of to either side of the interior of the door. So when you talk to the boss, you're going to have your back to them. Roberts looks like he's maybe sort of down on his luck. Looks like he's lived hard. He's maybe late 30s, but has a real just sort of worn out look to him. You can see in several places he has these distinctive like black scars that are the mark of like low grade healing technology that doesn't quite it fixes the interior damage, but it's sort of out of date and leaves these sort of permanent marks. All right. So you enter. Vance Roberts looks up at you and says, "Well, another offer walking through my door. And what might you have to offer for this here beauty?" And he taps a case sitting on the seat next to him. There's a table between you.
Not just another offer, sir. I'm the last offer. And do I have any idea what this might be selling for?
Flashback, you do. You've done research.
Yeah, this wouldn't be that hard to look up. So in this game, creds are sort of an abstract measure of wealth. This is a pretty big deal. This is probably 15 creds. Which is like a medium-sized ship.
Do we have access to to that amount of money?
Not at all.
Okay. Do I have? I don't.
Would this be a good time to flash back to some kind of preparation you made?
No, maybe. So what I'm going to do is how many creds did we just get for the job we pulled? 3?
3.
Okay, so I'm going to and did we have any before that, or do we only have 3 creds?
I think you probably had 2 before that.
Okay, I'm going to take out. Are creds physical or are they digital?
There's probably some kind of physical token that you could represent, or you could represent it digitally.
Okay, I'm going to, whether it's digital or physical, I'm going to show him 5 tokens or 5 creds and let him see that, and I'm just going to be like, this is just the beginning. This is what I can offer you now. However, you seem to be a man who needs other jobs. And as a partner with the Alliance, you give me these plans, and I can guarantee you exclusive rights to jobs we pull in the future.
Oh. So I'm going to tell you that this is going to be risky limited. It's worth a lot of money, and you're telling him that you're going to give him like a fraction of what it's worth.
Yes, but you described him as kind of down on his luck looking.
Oh, absolutely.
So I figure promising him lots of jobs going forward might entice him. Doing this initial one as a sort of testing ground. And can I use stress to add dice to this?
Yes, so you can push your luck. You can also take a devil's bargain, and someone can assist you. But they have to say how they're assisting you.
I mean, I can change the deal here with my assistance.
So what exactly are you doing to skew it in
to
your
change
favor?
the deal? Oh, easy. You have to persuade them this way. Imagine this. You're actually a loan officer in here. All right, we're going to give you 5 credits now. We're going to go. We're going to use your goodies you have in that case, and we're going to go make more creds. And with those creds, we're going to owe you 50% of those proceeds for the next 5 years. With those next 5 years, we are going to be absolutely busting our butts, which say we can do 3 or 4 missions a year. That's just if we're being slow and lazy. We can probably net you an extra 25 creds a year. So now your investment in us was going to net you way more than just, 15? 5 years. we're average 25 a year. That's lowball numbers.
All right. So,
That's 125 creds right there with that investment.
all right.
You hold it up there and you own the deal.
So this puts our scoundrel up to. So you can push yourself to raise the effect, which might be more helpful here instead of just getting more dice.
Yeah, let's do that.
So that'll put you up to standard effect, and you'll still have 3 dice to roll. Or sorry, you'll have 1 bonus die on top of your normal.
Is that one stress for me?
Yes, 1 stress for you and 2 for scoundrel.
Okay. And what am I rolling here? Consort?
Yeah, I think consort works.
Okay, so we're doing it as risky, controlled, or desperate.
I think it's just risky.
Risky. And then standard, limited, great, or extreme.
Standard.
Standard. And I have a bonus die of
1 from the
1.
assist.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to say your sort of mixed result here. You bumped this forward 2 more, and you raise suspicions a little bit because you've flashed some money, and you've made sort of a vague promise, but you're moving forward. He leans in and says, "Credits today are a lot better than credits tomorrow." And as he says it, he sort of wiggles an eyebrow at your 5 credits.
I know that I don't have anything more to offer today. Like I physically don't have it to offer. And I gotta think that maybe this are we allowed to talk out of character?
Yeah.
Do we think this guy's bluffing? Like, should I just pick up the money and say, fine, I'll find it somewhere else and head out? Like,
so I'll say this. From your research, you're not going to find this anywhere else. This is like a one-of-a-kind prototype, and all the documentation in the world.
But he doesn't know how badly we need it.
I mean, that's true. You could try a study roll here to get a vibe of sort of where he's at. Or you could do some kind of flashback to find out more about him.
I don't know what would we have done to find out more about him?
I don't know. How do you find information about people?
I don't know. I'm not a criminal or a spy.
I mean, how would you do it in the real world?
I'm not a criminal or a spy.
I mean, you could talk to people. You could potentially hack some kind of database.
You know what?
What did our mystic? What did you take for your? What are your 2 abilities?
You mean like under insight, prowess, resolve, or
your special? Okay, you took kinetics in the way.
Yeah.
So you could potentially have consulted sort of mystical means to learn more about him. You could have hacked a database to find out like how much money he has and what his history is. You could have talked to people who showed up here with him or knew him. and any one of you could have done this.
Were there any people waiting to come in?
I think
we
you
were
would have
there?
clocked a few people who were like sort of anxiously looking up at the door as people came in.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. Let's do a flashback and do talking to people. Were we able to find out if there's anything this guy needs or wants more than credits? Or um, why would he need credits so desperately today?
All right. In that case, any one of you can do this. To find this answer, you could hack, you could study, probably our mystic could attune. All sorts of different ways to sort of find this information. Who wants to have the flashback?
I mean, I have 2 points into attune.
Yeah, so you could kind of meditate on him and try and discern things about him.
Would it be risky and...
So it's a flashback. I would say that this would be risky standard, but you're going to spend 1 stress for the flashback.
Okay. And 0 bonus die.
Yeah. Ouch.
I'm not doing well with these rolls.
Yeah, it didn't go great. Someone became aware of this somehow. And you did not find the information that you wanted to.
He has a mystic on his team. Could also try hacking.
Yep. Mechanic or pilot, do y'all want to take a shot at hacking a system?
Oh, I will love to hack it. What's my role?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a risky standard hack roll, and you'll take 1 stress for doing it.
4. My average.
All right, with a 4. With a 4, you are able to sort of backtrack some of his accounts, and it starts to paint a portrait for you. This guy is broke. He has basically nothing to his name. He went into debt to get access to this event the way that he has. And all of this because there are enough people who understand that this fortune that he has stumbled backwards into is quite valuable. He also knows someone's probably coming after this. If he holds on to it for too long, someone's just going to take it from him. So he does want to get paid, and he wants to be rid of this thing. Now, he's expecting to be paid a lot, but he also very much doesn't want to die.
Is he just afraid of, in general, people coming to kill him? Or were we able to figure out if there was someone specific that might be coming?
The best you can dig up is whatever he has, this weapon design. It doesn't seem like if he had stolen it from a specific faction, they would be very loud about it, probably. Like if he'd taken it from a major syndicate family or from the Alliance, you'd know about it. So whoever had this is being quiet about it, but was also able to design something like this.
All right. Um, then Winnie's. Man, I don't know how bold to be here. Um, do I tell him fine? We'll find somebody else who will pay you more for it, and I'll pick up the coins and say I'll just make this offer to the next person, and they'll know what they're getting. Or do I try to indicate that we know that, or do I try to indicate that, like, hey, the next person who comes in here might be the person that would kill you for this. Take my offer now and save yourself.
It's up to
Always
you. What do
threaten.
you?
No, I'm asking my fellow
He's
players.
spitballing ideas here. I would say you could always threaten to spread the rumor that it's a fake. That
But that wouldn't do anything.
well, then nobody else would want to buy it.
I mean, I can't just walk out of this room and be like, "Hey guys, this is fake," and people believe me. Like they would.
You know what?
At least the
We
people
made the
sitting there
wrong deal.
waiting for it would want to come in and see it.
This is true.
Guys, I think we've made the wrong deal here. He's down as long as he's in the dumps. Well, we could have said if you came with us and that blueprint, we can get you to a better organization. We'll take care of your needs.
Also, we could always
keep
just
you safe.
grab it and run, or be the people who kill him.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could offer you come with us, and we'll protect you.
Grab it and run. Like, why bring him with us?
Grab it. I mean, they did say that they didn't necessarily need him; they just wanted the.
As you all are at the precipice of making this move, there's suddenly the sound of a commotion outside. Two of the guards step out to deal with it.
I grab it and I run.
No, I look at him and I go, make the deal. Make it our problem. Save yourself.
Are you which action is happening here?
We'll go with
I'll
the
give him the chance
scoundrels.
to say that.
All
I'll
right.
give him the chance to say, make the deal and run. And if he hesitates even a little bit, I grab it and we run.
Time's running out.
Let's make a fortune roll. Just make a fortune roll flat, and on a 1 through 3 he hesitates. On a 4 or 5 he thinks about it. On a 6 he does what you want here.
Is that through the ship?
Yeah, the ship. Yeah, roll fortune.
Number of dice.
It's on the.
Yeah, I think it's on
character
both.
sheet, too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. I can roll it real quick if you want.
Oh,
I see it
never
now.
even noticed that. Yep. Never mind.
Yeah, go ahead, roll it.
Just one dice.
Yep.
And number of dice 1. Submit. No notes. 6. Holy crap!
All right, on a 6, which would you prefer? He is either completely caught off guard, or he is going to buy into the deal.
Deal. That way, at least our cover is still.
Maybe it's less suspicious.
Yeah.
Even though-
Are you still holding the credits?
No, I think that I would have put them on the table for him to see.
All right, on a 6, so he snaps up the credits, grabs the case. It sort of happens at the same time. He hears the commotion, and there is this loud electrical sound, and then people start screaming. One of the guards is blasted into the room, and they have this crackling, like scattered, blackened pattern across their body. And he goes, "Deal!" Grabs it, puts it in his pocket, grabs the case, and says, "All right, let's go."
Grab. Is there
I
anything
take off
for us to
after him.
grab?
Is there anything what?
For us to grab? Like, do we have to take the plans, or is that what was in the case?
The plans and the item are both in the case.
Okay, I'm
And
following him.
we have to follow him.
Is there?
Is there another exit to this room, or we have to go out where the danger is?
No, I'm following him wherever he went.
Okay, yeah.
No, there's definitely. Well, give me a study roll. Somebody give me a study roll or a flashback to know the layout of this room.
I have a 1 into study. I
got it.
Okay.
When I hacked the computer to get info on him to figure out how broke he was, I may or may not have kind of looked at the layout of this like sector we were in, this quadrant or whatever hallway area we were in, to kind of map out all the exits, entrances, and ways to hide and run. When I was hacking, because I like to multitask.
All right. So give me a fresh hack roll. Spend 1 stress for the flashback. And this is going to be controlled and standard.
Hack.
Oof.
Ouch.
Good. That's just how I like to roll.
Yep. I know there are doors in this room.
All right, we now have 2 clocks running. We have Escape the Noviks. You don't know what those are. And we have Pursuit. And Pursuit just ticked up by 1. You look around this room. The only way out is the door this guy just got blasted through.
Do we see anybody in the entrance yet?
The entrance is clear, but there are definitely sounds of violence. There's like a thick curtain basically blocking this room.
I throw the desk through the doorway.
All right.
Using my
a tune roll and spend 2 stress.
Will it be risky and
this will be risky, and I'm going to call this great effect.
And 0 bonus die.
Yep.
And how many stress do I put to
Hey,
it?
you got a 6.
Yeah.
It's 2 stress.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh, sorry. I filled up the wrong one here. Hold on. This was at 1. It's going to go to 0. And escape is going to go to 2. This is what's called a tug of war. When things go bad, you're going to lose ticks from escape. If escape zeros, pursuit picks up. And actually, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change pursuit to a 4. Yeah, you pick up the table, and the table blasts through the doorway. But it's concealed by the curtain, but the curtain does nothing to stop the table. The table crashes out. You hear a crackling sound, and sort of the noise outside changes a little bit. What do you guys want to do?
I guess go up to the doorway and kind of find a way to peek around the corner or through the curtain or whatever. try and see what's out there.
So what you see is chaos. Only one of the guards is still standing. One of his shoulders is sort of blackened. Two guards are down. People are running, screaming out of the room. There are like three of these black armored figures, and or I should say there were two of them are like pinned to a wall. You didn't hit them hard enough to like break the armor, but you hit them hard enough that it like dented them into the wall. They are pinned in the lower section behind the table. The remaining one is still standing. Black featureless armor. There's no sort of representation of a face. It's sort of black and reflective. And there's a gauntlet, and the gauntlet is crackling with electricity. What do y'all want to do?
So, like, outside this door, is it just a straight hallway, or is it like, can I go left, can I go right?
It's back out into the club.
Gotcha.
It looks like there's a couple of different exits from the club.
Can we see him running still?
He's like behind you.
Oh, I thought we were following him.
No. He wants you all to be the one to take the hits.
Gotcha.
It's the only way.
So if we run out, me and Pilot, and we go. Pilot goes left, I go right, and we just open fire. At this point, we gotta take gloves off. We're gonna go into combat. We're gonna open fire on the guy, maybe even open fire on the two pinned, and we're just gonna bolt.
All right. So mechanic. That sounds like that's going to be a scrap check.
Risky, standard.
Definitely risky. I'll call it standard.
Gloves are off. I've pulled out a blaster pistol.
Nice. You blast, and you must have gotten a lucky hit or something. Now, are you gonna pull? Can you pull a heavy blaster?
I could.
You are licensed to carry them.
I might as well. I'm gonna pull out a heavy blaster. Gloves are off. We're killing.
All right. So the heavy blaster helps you here. This armor seems to be partially like energy dispersing, which is why the guards had such trouble, the bodyguards. But your heavy blaster, it seems like it has a much higher sort of energy content, and it overwhelms the defenses. And they are, it's hard to tell if they're dead, but they are certainly in a miserable state. You all are able to sort of, this room is clear for the moment. They could recover, more people could come in, but you have a moment. What do you want to do?
We're going to hit the exit towards, hopefully, our ship, I guess, where it's docked, because we just got to get out of here.
All right. What is everyone else doing?
Pilot, finish one of them off. We need a reputation. Finish them off. Kill one of them. As you run by, each one of us pops a shot into them, executioner style, just to show them who's boss. Actually, we can recruit the last guard and have him come with us and have another fighter. There's some thoughts.
So you're trying to get the guard to come with you?
Well, I mean, what else is he supposed to do? He can run off and potentially get, fined, or run with people who are licensed here. But might be able to bail him out of some trouble and pull some heat off of him.
All right. What actions? So Leo just acted. What are the rest of you doing? Oh, CJ, you're cutting in and out a little bit.
CJ, are you okay?
Hello?
You want to talk about
Hello?
There you go.
Hello?
There we go.
it?
Seems like
You need
you're
a
working.
hug.
So what's our scoundrel doing?
Staying at the back behind them, since I am supposed to be playing the part of the rich guy, and I want to keep that as intact as possible for now. But can I be like tipping tables over and stuff just to make it harder for those behind us to pursue us?
Yeah. What kind of check do you want to call that?
Not sure, and I can't open my character sheet for some reason. It just keeps moving when I click it.
Oh, I have that problem sometimes.
Um,
I have it open now. I closed it and just reopened it from the sidebar. What kind of maybe I don't feel like it's sneaking. I don't feel like I'm convincing people to, so I guess scrap, but against people who aren't necessarily prepared for, or people or things that aren't fighting back.
yeah, I think scrap or scramble is probably the most accurate here.
Yeah, either of those.
All right. Take your pick, and we're going to call it risky standard. Oof. You flip some tables. And I think what gets you is you're sort of flipping tables to make it hard for them to come after you. And you're distracted for just a second. And one of them is going to reach out and get a gauntlet on your ankle. And they are they're going to get a shock off. You're going to take 2 harm, and we're going to call this we're going to call this a jolted leg. It's simultaneously like the worst possible Charlie horse all the way up your leg. And also it feels like you're being burned.
Oh man.
Oh heavens. I'm not used to putting forth this much effort.
All right. What is our mystic and pilot doing?
So let's say I was gonna have my melee weapon out, ready to use it on whoever. I guess I'll hit that guy in the arm.
So I think what I'll say is y'all have made some progress. I don't want to keep you trapped in this room.
Yes.
So yeah, you're flinging this stuff behind you. One of them grabs you, but y'all manage to get down the hallway a ways. There's sort of contained chaos. you're looking down over the sort of gambling floor below, and it looks fine down there. But on this, like, it's almost like a street that you're moving through, with sort of stands and rooms to either side, doors leading off to other entertainment. And here people are screaming. And there are several of these black armored figures moving through the crowd, sort of heading in your direction. So if that helps, Mystic and Pilot, what do you want to do?
What if we hide?
So you were talking about your melee weapon?
Oh, I thought Hayden said something.
Oh.
Look.
Hello?
I said, what if we hide in a room real quick? Let them pass.
You can do what's called a group check. One person leads the action. Everyone makes a roll. And you take the best roll out of everyone. But for every roll that's a 1 to 3, the leader takes 1 distress. So you can make a group skulk check to hide.
Okay.
Do it.
Well, who's the... All right, let's stress me out, baby. Let's do this. Let's see if we can hide from them. If you want to.
The
Works for me.
position, whatnot.
What? Risky standard.
Risky standard.
Okay.
I think we're stressing him out a little.
Oof. All right. So Pilot got the best roll with a 4. So who was leading that?
I was.
Hey-
I just got stuck with 3 more stress. I'm going to take harm from stress. Soon.
Yeah. Have you capped out your stress?
No, I haven't yet.
If you do, you will take trauma and you'll be incapacitated for this mission.
Oop.
But you do manage to hide, and you're able to kind of watch through like a glass panel, and you see as some of these figures go past you. There's fully like 10 or 12 of them, and you see all but 1 or 2 go past you towards the club. Now there's just 2. There's one like a little ways down from the door, and one like way at the end, where it branches off towards the hangar, or one of the hangars. What do y'all want to do?
I guess this is as clear as it'll get. Make a break for it.
Let's do it.
If we pull out heavy blasters, we focus on the guy close to us, and
Yep.
2 focus on the guy close to us. The other 2 focus on the guy down the end to try and keep him pinned.
Figured I could smack the closest one in the face with my melee weapon, whatever it is.
All right. So scramble or fight, scramble or scrap. What do y'all? And who's acting next?
Wait, what's the difference between scramble and scrap?
Scramble is like running, and scrap is specifically fighting.
I don't know if I'm next or not, but scoundrel would be scrambling.
All right.
Let's scramble.
So yeah, I'm hitting the one guy. I'm absolutely not hitting the one guy. Holy crap.
Oof.
Dude, we were just
My dice rolls are just not.
Yeah, on a 1, one of the figures clocks you, like you go after him, and your sword just can't It just can't cut through.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of guessed that armor wasn't gonna.
And you lose some time. Man, and on a 1, I feel like you lose 2 segments.
Oh no.
All right.
I'm so close.
Who would like to go next?
Scramble.
All right.
What's the 2 things?
Risky standard.
Jeez.
Well,
Oof.
I got it for the
Pilot is
right?
doing. Yeah, you got. Yeah, Scoundrel did good. The pilot did not.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
oh.
I saw it come up at the same time.
Yeah, at first I thought, yeah, but it's 2 different ones.
Yeah. So you sort of successfully make your way past one of the attacking figures without being noticed, but Pilot just jacks it up. Pilot, I think you actually get like the electrified gauntlet doesn't catch you, but it grabs like the back of your clothing. So you're now sort of held. What do y'all want to do?
Well, I'm still right there, so I guess I can try another scrap and see what happens.
All right. So I'll give you a choice. Do you want to free the pilot, or do you want to try and harm the person?
I think I'll free the pilot.
All right. You manage to. You manage to cut through. Instead of trying to cut the armor around the hand, you just cut through the back of the pilot's jacket.
Hopefully it wasn't his favorite.
So, pilot is freed. What do y'all want to do now?
I think our cover's blown again.
Rambling. Yeah.
So who's doing what?
I'm thinking.
Since you all sort of slowed down, you're starting to see some of the other guards coming back the other direction. They have realized that they passed you. Or the smarter ones have.
I have an idea. I don't know how stupid this one sounds. It's called a flashback time. You see with these doorways, they're kind of bulky and you kind of hide stuff in them. And as the mechanic, I tend to like to grab a lot of stuff. And, with connections to Jimmy and Slim Shady, I may or may not have a little bit of explosive on me. And I do have a detonator that I brought. And on the way in there, I may or may not have touched the door and left some explosive in the door. At this point, I've decided all hands are off. We got to go. Things are getting bad to worse. So I may or may not have just hit the detonator to blow up the door for the way the rest of the guards are coming. And I'm gonna book it. We're going loud and proud, baby.
And this is like, are you saying you put this like right just now as you went by?
Or ahead of time?
Pretty much. When we ran through it the first time, I may or may not. I slipped it in just in case we had a tail on us. But then I saw him coming. I was like, oh, we better hide. And they've come, now they're coming back, so it's like, oh well, I guess my little detonator here. It was supposed to be planned earlier for distraction. You blow something up, everyone comes to check it out, and you go the other way. Well, now it's going to be blocking the way.
All right.
You blow up
So give me a, I think it's a rig check.
Good.
Sounds right.
I hope so. Oh, risky.
Yeah, definitely risky. And we'll call this. Do you have anything on your load that you could mark for this?
I have a detonator.
Oh yeah, if you mark that on your load, we'll call this
I did.
great effect.
I did mark it.
All right. All right. Yeah, that is definitely going to. That's going to advance you 3 segments. But also, we've started a new clock called Station Security, and it's already at 2:04 because you just set off a bomb on the space station.
Yeah, and it's called You Run and You Lie. It's the people in the black's fault.
So the good news
Right.
is you've trapped like 9 of the visible guards in the club.
So now we just have the 2 in the hallway that were.
So we'll say you freed the pilot. You all can kind of run through if you want.
Let's
Do we
do
do
that. Let's
scramble or yeah?
We'll
What?
just say you can just make it.
Okay.
They're going to chase after you, but you've bought a second with that action.
Sounds good.
So there's a hangar pretty near here because there's hangars everywhere. And you managed to get your ship sort of tucked into this hangar. You discover to your dismay that there are both these black armored figures. There are 3 of them in the hangar next to their own ship, which seems to have similar black armored plating. But also, station security has now flooded this room, and there is a firefight happening. And your ship is behind the other ship. What do you all want to do?
Well, I guess they're distracted by each other at least.
Is there like a long wavy route around everything?
It depends on how well you roll.
So scramble or skulk. I don't know which one would be.
I kind of want to sculpt this.
Because we're
So
kind of
skulk
sneaking.
is safer but slower.
Yeah.
Scramble is quick, but it's going to be more likely for something to go wrong.
Yeah.
Or more, you're more noticeable for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to sculpt this one.
Do another group skulk.
Yep, I
I'm
think
not
it'd be
the
a group
leader.
skulk if you want to take that route.
Who's the
least-
leader? It ain't me.
I have
all
3
the leader
stress.
has to do is basically be able to take stress.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I've only got 2 stress. So
Okay.
let's skulk around though.
All
It was
right,
a
let's see
risky
who gets the high
standard.
roll.
What are we rolling?
This is going to be risky standard. Well, you already got you got a 5 on the board. All right, you're going to take 2 stress. But you'll
Did I
have a
just
mixed
do
success.
1 again.
So I would say you're about halfway around across the room. The firefight is still happening intensely. There is one of these black armored figures is like right next to where your ship is going to open up for you all to get on. What do you want to do?
Is there like a stealth takedown or option or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, someone could try and skulk over there and take them out. And really, almost anything you want to do, there's something you can use one of your abilities for.
Okay. So, but like, yeah, I would have to roll skulk to get over to him first, or
Yeah.
not that I did well the first time, but
Oof.
middling success.
No, 3 is a failure.
Oh, 3 is bad. Okay, never
3 is
mind.
bad.
Yeah.
3 is half a 6. So.
Yeah, you immediately catch the attention of both factions. Some of the guards turn and are sort of now. Some of the black armored figures are now trying to stop you. But also, Mystic, you look up and you feel the unmistakable touch of someone sort of looking at you, examining you through the way. And you realize that you felt it before. This is the one who noticed you trying to
Yeah, find information on
yeah.
Vance or whatever his name was. Yeah.
And it looks like the person is the one in charge of the station security.
It's Darth Vader.
It's a dark-haired man with sort of almost shoulder-length black hair. Has some of those telltale black scars from out-of-date medical equipment. And he noticed that he's sort of snapping off shots with almost sort of superhuman precision. He's hitting like joints on the armor, and if not knocking them out, is at least causing more harm than anyone else. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, kinetic throw the black armor guy. I was gonna.
Does anyone else want to take an action just to mix it up?
I mean, so there's only one black armor guard in our way.
Yeah.
I look at Pilot. I pull out my heavy blaster. I'm like, let's do this. Let's double team him. With me, Pilot. Let's just shoot this. Let's just shoot him. Let's get to the ship. Let's just get out of here. We've outstayed our welcome.
All right. So you're going to assist the. Who are you going to assist?
Do this.
I am not going to assist anyone. I'm just going to pull out my blaster and shoot him. Shoot the black armor guy.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to try getting the ship. Maybe I can think of something different.
All right. We'll call this. So you're just trying to shoot them.
Just the one guy stopping us from entering our ship.
All right. So that's probably scrap, and that's going to be risky standard.
I got him.
There we go.
Yeah, with a 5. You make a solid hit. You hit one of the joints, and they are sort of smoking and smoldering and sort of pushed back. Anyone else? Pilot, do you have any ideas?
The pilot shooting too.
I mean, I'll say this. They're standing right next to the ship. Is Pilot alive?
Yeah. Pilot got left behind.
Let me look.
Pilot!
Pilot needs to run in and get the ship booted up.
Well, while we wait, since these people are directly next to the ship, I will reveal a hidden sidearm and uh, start blasting as well.
All right. Go ahead and give me a scrap check.
Ski standard.
Yep.
You
Oh,
lose someone.
Hello.
Hello?
he lives. And just in
Test.
time.
So,
So,
Hear you the whole time.
what?
I didn't realize. I've been able to hear you guys the whole time. I didn't realize something was messed up with my headset.
Oh,
I literally just restarted Discord and refreshed the page and it works now. So
All right.
weird.
Well, you are just in time. Yeah, you make here's what I'll say. Pilot, is there an action you want to take? Since you've been kind of out for a minute. There is like one last armored figure up next to your ship.
I'm gonna blast him.
All right.
I'm gonna hit scrap, risky, standard, submit.
You missed.
So both of you are sort of firing, and it attracts the attention of the station security on top of the black armored figures. The scoundrel manages to bring down the last black armored figure between you and the ship, but not before some of the station security starts to fire at you all. The scoundrel is going to take a 1 harm blaster graze. The pilot is going to take a 2 harm blaster shot.
What does that mean for us?
Mark it on your sheet.
Just shot?
Yeah. It tells you
Okay.
what it does on the sheet.
Oh, where?
Under harm, it shows you that the penalties to the right.
Yeah, you're less effective. The pilot has a -1D.
Yeah, I do too now. Because I've got a jolted leg and I've been shot.
There's 2 slots for 1 harm.
Oh,
Actually, I think there's 2 slots for 2 harm as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So with those sort of parting blows, you all manage to dash forward and you drag Vance Roberts and his case onto the ship. Pilot, you're able to rapidly kick the ship on, and you just blast out of the hangar, leaving behind the armored figures and station security still sort of shooting it out. Your prize is unfolded on a table. You two discover, which you would have found if you had tried this, there's some kind of magnetic tether attaching the case to Robert's wrist. But he sets it on a table on the ship and opens it for you all. And you see a collection of data disks and a sleek, black-looking blaster of some kind. And you realize it's made of the same material and style as the black armored figures who were pursuing it. With that revelation, we kind of pan back, zooming out, and we watch as the Alexander jumps to faster than light travel and blasts forward out and away from the Rhapsody Station, leaving behind all of your problems for now. And that's where we're going to leave this game of Scum and Villainy. We might come back to the crew of the Alexander at some point in the future, where you will receive your rewards and have a chance to recuperate from all of this. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to leave us. I'm going to go ahead and cut our stream. We'll be back to normal monks next week, entering the last arc for our monks as well. So with that, everybody have a wonderful evening, and make sure you tell Wizards of the Coast that the OGL is stupid. Bye!